Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let me ask you something. How many of you want to speak English with confidence? Raise your hands. Keep them up. Now, let me ask you another question. How many of you have tried and failed? How many of you bought the books, downloaded the apps, started the courses, and then stopped after 2 weeks? Keep your hands up. Do not be ashamed. I see you. I was you. Most people think learning English is about intelligence. They think you need to be smart. You need to have a gift. You need to be born with some special ability. Let me tell you something right now. That is completely wrong. Completely wrong. I am living proof that you do not need to be smart to learn English. You do not need special talent. You do not need expensive schools or fancy teachers. What you need is something much simpler. What you need is the willingness to look stupid every single day for 31 days. When I was young, I failed my primary school exams twice. I failed my middle school exams 3 times. I applied to university 4 times and got rejected. But you want to know something? Every single morning at 5 a.m., I rode my bicycle 9 kilometers to the Hangzhou Hotel. Why? Because there were foreign tourists there. And I would stand outside that hotel, nervous, scared, embarrassed, and I would walk up to strangers and say, "Hello, can I practice English with you?" Most of them ignored me. Some of them looked at me like I was crazy. But some of them said yes. And I would practice. I would make mistakes. Terrible mistakes. I would say words wrong. I would mix up grammar. I would sweat. I would feel my face turn red. But I showed up every single day. For 9 years. 9 years I did this. Not because I was smart, not because it was easy, but because I understood one simple truth. The person who shows up is always stronger than the person who stays home. Today, I want to talk to you about something powerful. I want to talk to you about learning English in 31 days. And I already know what you are thinking. You are thinking, "Jack, that is impossible. I have been trying for years. How can I do it in 31 days? Let me be very clear with you. I am not saying you will become Shakespeare in 31 days. I am not saying you will speak like a native. What I am saying is this. In 31 days, you can build the foundation. In 31 days, you can destroy the fear. In 31 days, you can change your relationship with English from enemy to friend. But here is the truth that nobody wants to tell you. The system works, the method works, but most people will fail anyway. Why? Because they are not willing to do what is uncomfortable. They want the result without the pain. They want the confidence without the embarrassment. They want to speak perfect English without sounding stupid first. And that, my friends, is impossible. Let me tell you what happens to most people. Day 1, they are excited. They are motivated. They wake up early. They study vocabulary. They listen to podcasts. They feel good. Day 2, still strong. Day 3, okay. Day 4, they are tired. Day 5, they skip the morning practice. Day 6, they tell themselves they will do double tomorrow. Day 7, they stop. And then they say, "You see? I tried. English is too hard. Maybe I am just not good at languages." But let me ask you something. Did you really try? Or did you just test the water with your toe and run away because it was cold? Because trying is not 1 week. Trying is not when you feel good. Trying is when you do not feel good and you do it anyway. Trying is when your brain tells you to stop and you say no. Trying is when you make a fool of yourself in front of people and you do it again the next day. I want you to understand something very important. English is not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. Perfectionism is your enemy. The voice in your head that says, "I cannot do this," is your enemy. English is just a tool. Just sounds and words. It has no power over you except the power you give it. And for too long, you have been giving it too much power. Think about a baby learning to talk. Does a baby worry about making mistakes? Does a baby say, "Oh no, I said mama wrong, I better give up"? No, the baby keeps trying. The baby makes sounds, wrong sounds, silly sounds. But the baby keeps going until one day the sounds become words, and the words become sentences, and the sentences become conversations. You were that baby once. You learned your first language the same way, not by studying grammar books, not by memorizing rules, but by opening your mouth and making sounds even when you did not know what you were doing. Somewhere along the way, you forgot this. You became an adult, and adults have a disease. The disease is called I do not want to look stupid. This disease kills more dreams than failure ever will. This disease stops people from starting. It stops people from asking questions. It stops people from practicing. Because in your mind, making a mistake means you are not good enough. But let me tell you the truth. Making mistakes means you are learning. Making mistakes means you are trying. Making mistakes means you are alive and moving forward. The 31-day system I want to share with you is very simple. But simple does not mean easy. Simple means clear. It means you know exactly what to do. Whether you do it or not, that is up to you. The system has 3 pillars. First pillar, speak every day even if you speak to yourself. Second pillar, make mistakes on purpose and laugh at them. Third pillar, measure progress by courage, not by perfection. Let me explain the first pillar. Speaking. Most people who study English, they read, they listen, they write, but they do not speak. And then they wonder why they cannot speak. It is like learning to swim by reading books about swimming. At some point, you have to get in the water. At some point, you have to open your mouth and make sounds come out. Even if those sounds are wrong, even if those sounds are ugly, even if nobody is listening, you must practice the physical act of speaking. I want you to do something starting today. Every morning for 5 minutes, I want you to talk to yourself in English. Talk about your day. Talk about what you will eat for breakfast. Talk about your dreams. Talk about the weather. It does not matter what you say. What matters is that your mouth moves. What matters is that your brain starts thinking in English. What matters is that you remove the gap between thinking and speaking. Here is what will happen. The first day, you will feel stupid. You will stumble. You will forget words. You will want to switch back to your native language. Do not. Keep going. By day 3, it will feel slightly less awkward. By day 7, you will notice you are finding words faster. By day 14, you will catch yourself thinking in English without trying. By day 31, speaking English will feel natural. Not perfect, but natural. And natural is the beginning of confidence. Second pillar, make mistakes on purpose. This is the pillar that changes everything. Most people try to avoid mistakes. They stay quiet when they do not know the perfect word. They do not speak because they are afraid to sound wrong. But I am telling you to do the opposite. I am telling you to make mistakes deliberately. Try to use words you are not sure about. Try to make sentences that might be incorrect. Say things wrong and then laugh about it. Why? Because when you make mistakes on purpose, you take away the fear. When you expect to be wrong, being wrong does not hurt anymore. It becomes part of the game. And here is the secret. When you are not afraid of mistakes, you try more things. When you try more things, you learn faster. When you learn faster, you improve quicker. The people who improve the fastest are not the smartest people. They are the people who are willing to fail the most. I remember when I first started speaking English to business partners. My English was terrible. Terrible. I would mix up words. I would say things backwards. One time, I was trying to say, I am very interested in this opportunity, and instead I said something that meant the complete opposite. Everyone laughed. And you know what I did? I laughed too. I said, sorry, my English is poor, but my heart is sincere. And we kept talking. And we did business together. If I had been too proud, if I had been too embarrassed, if I had stayed quiet to protect my ego, I would have missed that opportunity. I would have missed many opportunities. Your English does not have to be perfect. It just has to be brave. People respect courage more than they respect grammar. Third pillar, measure progress by courage, not by perfection. This is very important. Most people measure their English by how correct they are. They count how many words they know. They check how many grammar rules they remember. But I want you to measure something different. I want you to count how many times you tried to speak even when you were scared. I want you to count how many times you asked someone to explain something you did not understand. I want you to count how many times you used English even though you could have used your native language. Because confidence does not come from knowing everything. Confidence comes from doing things even when you do not know everything. Every time you speak English with fear in your chest and you do it anyway, you are building confidence. Every time you make a mistake and keep going, you are building confidence. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you are becoming stronger. Let me tell you about comfort zones. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place. It is warm. It is safe. Nothing bad happens there. But nothing great happens there either. Your comfort zone is like a prison that does not look like a prison. It has soft walls and a cozy bed. But it is still a prison because in your comfort zone you do not grow. You do not learn. You do not become the person you dream of being. Learning English requires you to step outside your comfort zone every single day for 31 days. Some days it will feel impossible. Some days you will want to quit. Some days you will think, this is too hard, I am not improving. What is the point? And on those days, I want you to remember this. The point is not the destination. The point is who you are becoming on the journey. When you commit to speaking English every day, you are not just learning a language. You are learning discipline. When you make mistakes and keep going, you are learning resilience. When you practice even when you do not feel like it, you are learning consistency. These qualities, these habits, they will change your entire life. Not just your English. Everything. I meet so many people who tell me, Jack, I want to learn English so I can get a better job. Or, I want to learn English so I can travel. These are good reasons. But let me tell you the real reason to learn English. Learn English to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. Learn English to show yourself that your excuses are weaker than your commitment. Learn English to become the kind of person who finishes what they start. Because here is what nobody tells you about learning languages. The language itself is not the victory. The victory is that you transform from someone who makes excuses into someone who makes progress. The victory is that you looked at something difficult and instead of running away, you ran toward it. The victory is that you chose growth over comfort. Now let me talk about the easy system part. People hear easy system and they think it means no work. They think it means some magic trick, some secret shortcut. Let me be very clear. There is no magic. There are no shortcuts. Easy does not mean effortless. Easy means simple. Easy means you know exactly what to do. Easy means the path is clear. The path is this. 31 days. Every day. 3 things. Thing 1, 5 minutes speaking to yourself. Thing 2, 10 minutes listening to English content. Thing 3, 5 minutes writing 3 sentences about your day. That is 20 minutes total. 20 minutes. Everyone has 20 minutes. Do not tell me you are too busy. If you have time to check social media, you have time to learn English. But here is the key. You must do it every single day, not when you feel motivated, not when you have free time, every single day. Because motivation is like weather. Some days it is sunny. Some days it is raining. But discipline is like the earth. It is always there. It does not matter how you feel. The earth keeps spinning. The sun keeps rising. And you keep practicing. I know some of you are thinking, but Jack, I have tried before and I failed. What if I fail again? Let me ask you something. So, what if you fail? What is the worst thing that happens? You end up exactly where you are now. You lose nothing. But if you try and succeed, you gain everything. You gain confidence. You gain skills. You gain opportunities. You gain a new version of yourself. Fear of failure is just fear of staying the same dressed up in different clothes. You are not afraid of failing. You are afraid that if you try your hardest and still fail, it proves something bad about you. But let me tell you something. The only thing failure proves is that you are human. Everyone fails. Everyone. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not that successful people do not fail. It is that successful people fail and keep going. When I started Alibaba, I was rejected by investors over 30 times. 30 times. People told me my idea was stupid. They told me China was not ready for e-commerce. They told me to get a real job. And you know what? They were not wrong to be skeptical. I had no money. I had no technology background. I had no connections. All I had was a belief that the internet would change China and a willingness to work harder than anyone else. We started Alibaba in my apartment, 18 people. We had so little money that we all shared one computer. We worked day and night. We made 1,000 mistakes, but we kept going. And slowly, things started to work. Not because we were smarter than everyone else. Not because we had some secret formula, but because we refused to quit when things got hard. This is the same energy I want you to bring to learning English. I want you to have the mindset that says, I will figure this out no matter what. I want you to look at English not as a mountain that is too high to climb, but as a series of small steps. 1 word today, 2 sentences tomorrow, 5 minutes of conversation next week. You do not need to do everything at once. You just need to do something every day. Let me tell you about the compound effect. You know what compound interest is, right? When you save money, the interest earns interest, and over time, small amounts become large amounts. Learning works the same way. Every word you learn makes the next word easier to learn. Every sentence you speak makes the next sentence easier to speak. Every day you practice makes the next day's practice more effective. But here is the truth. In the beginning, you will not see results. Day 1, you practice, you feel the same. Day 2, same. Day 3, same. Days 4, 5, 6, 7, nothing. And this is where most people quit. They quit because they do not see immediate results. They think, this is not working. But they are wrong. It is working. They just cannot see it yet. Think about bamboo. You plant bamboo seeds and you water them every day. 1 month, nothing. 2 months, nothing. 3 months, nothing. 1 year, nothing. 2 years, nothing. 5 years, nothing grows above the ground. But in year 6, the bamboo shoots up 90 feet in 6 weeks. Did the bamboo grow in 6 weeks? No. It was growing for 5 years underground, building roots, building foundation, building strength. Your English is like bamboo. In the beginning, you will practice and feel like nothing is happening. But underneath in your brain, connections are forming, patterns are developing, confidence is building. And then one day, suddenly you will surprise yourself. You will have a conversation in English and realize you understood everything. You will think of something you want to say and the words will just come out. You will watch a movie without subtitles and realize you are following along. That is the day the bamboo breaks through the ground. But the growth was happening all along. This is why 31 days is so powerful. 31 days is long enough to build the habit, long enough to see the first shoots of growth, long enough to prove to yourself that you can commit to something, but short enough that it does not feel overwhelming. 31 days, 1 month. Anyone can do anything for 1 month. But I want to warn you about something. Your brain will try to stop you. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. And to your brain, safe means familiar. Learning English is not familiar. Speaking in another language is not familiar. Making mistakes in front of people is definitely not familiar. So your brain will create excuses. Very creative excuses. Very convincing excuses. Your brain will say, I am too tired today. I will do double tomorrow. Do not believe it. Your brain will say, I am too old to learn a new language. Do not believe it. Your brain will say, I am not talented at languages. Do not believe it. Your brain will say, everyone will laugh at me. Do not believe it. These are not reasons. These are excuses. And excuses are the walls you build around your own prison. Every time you believe an excuse, you make your comfort zone stronger. Every time you push through an excuse, you make yourself stronger. You have a choice every single day. Listen to the excuse or do the work. The excuse will make you feel better right now. The work will make you better forever. Which one do you choose? I choose the work. Every time. Even now, even after everything I have built, I still choose the work. Because I know that the moment I start making excuses is the moment I start declining. Success is not a destination you arrive at and then relax. Success is a direction you keep walking in. And that direction requires you to keep choosing discomfort. Keep choosing growth. Keep choosing action over excuses. Here is something else I want you to understand. Your English level right now is not a reflection of your potential. It is only a reflection of how much you have practiced. If your English is not good, it does not mean you are not smart. It means you have not practiced enough. And that is good news. Because you cannot change how smart you are, but you can change how much you practice. Some of you come from countries where English is not common. Some of you did not have opportunities to learn when you were young. Some of you had bad teachers or bad experiences. That is okay. That is the past. The past is not your prison unless you choose to live there. Today is a new day. Today you can choose to start. Today you can choose to become the person who speaks English with confidence. And let me tell you something about confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is something you build. You build it one small action at a time. You build it by doing things that scare you and surviving. You build it by failing and getting up. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you will practice and you do practice, you are building confidence. Every time you push through discomfort, you are building confidence. This 31-day journey is not just about English. It is about trust. Trust in yourself. Because if you can learn English in 31 days, what else can you do? If you can show up every day for a month, what else can you commit to? If you can push through fear and discomfort, what else can you achieve? This one decision, this one commitment, can change the way you see yourself forever. I want you to imagine something. Imagine yourself 31 days from now. You wake up and you realize you just completed 31 days of consistent practice. 31 days of choosing courage over comfort. How do you feel? Proud? Strong? Capable? Now, imagine the other path. You wake up 31 days from now and you did not do it. You made excuses. You gave up. How do you feel? Disappointed? Weak? Stuck? Both of these futures are possible. The decision is happening right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. You are either moving toward the first future or the second future. There is no standing still. Every day you do not practice is a day moving toward regret. Every day you do practice is a day moving toward pride. So I am asking you right now, in this moment, make a decision. Decide that you are the kind of person who finishes what they start. Decide that you are the kind of person who does not need perfect conditions to take action. Decide that you are the kind of person who is willing to look stupid in order to become great. And here is my promise to you. If you commit to this, if you truly commit, you will change. Not maybe. Not hopefully. You will change. Your English will improve. Your confidence will grow. Your belief in yourself will transform. Because that is what happens when you keep showing up. That is what happens when you do hard things. The world does not care about your excuses. The world does not care about your fears. The world does not care about your comfort. The world respects action. The world respects people who try. The world respects people who fall down and get back up. The world will not reward you for planning. It will not reward you for thinking about it. It will not reward you for wanting it. The world will only reward you for doing it. So do it. Start today, not tomorrow. Today. Speak 5 minutes of English to yourself today. Make mistakes on purpose today. Write 3 sentences about your day in English today, and then do it again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. For 31 days. 31 days of choosing courage. 31 days of building momentum. 31 days of becoming someone new. I started with nothing. I failed more times than I can count. I was rejected, laughed at, told I would never succeed. But I kept going. And now I'm standing here talking to thousands of people. In English, a language I once could barely speak. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can transform from a poor kid with bad English into someone who built a global company, you can transform from where you are now into someone who speaks English with confidence. The only difference between me and you is not talent. It is not luck. It is not opportunity. The only difference is that I decided to keep going no matter what. And today, I am asking you to make the same decision. Decide that 31 days from now, you will be different. Decide that you will not let fear win. Decide that you will not let excuses control your life. Because here is the truth. The version of you that speaks English confidently already exists. That person is not in the future. That person is inside you right now, waiting for you to give them permission to emerge. Waiting for you to practice. Waiting for you to be brave. Waiting for you to start. So start. Today. Right now. When you leave this room, speak English. Speak it poorly. Speak it with mistakes. Speak it with an accent. It does not matter. Just speak it. And tomorrow, do it again. And the day after, do it again. Build the habit. Build the courage. Build the life you want. Remember, 31 days is not a long time, but it is long enough to change everything. It is long enough to build a foundation. It is long enough to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. It is long enough to transform from someone who makes excuses into someone who makes progress. The world is waiting for you. The opportunities are waiting for you. The confident English speaker inside you is waiting for you. Do not make them wait any longer. Do not waste another day living small. Do not waste another day being less than you are capable of becoming. I believe in you, but my belief does not matter. What matters is whether you believe in yourself. And the only way to build that belief is through action. So take action. Today. Now. This moment. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your 31 days. Go. Practice. Fail. Learn. Grow. And 31 days from now, you will look back at this moment and thank yourself. You will look back and realize this was the day everything changed. Not because English changed you, but because you changed yourself. You chose courage. You chose growth. You chose to become the person you were always meant to be. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your journey to confident English begins with a single word. Speak that word today, and then speak another tomorrow, and another the next day for 31 days. And watch what happens. Watch how you transform. Watch how your life transforms. This is not just about learning English. This is about learning who you really are. This is about discovering that you are stronger than your fears, braver than your doubts, and more capable than your excuses. This is about becoming someone who does not wait for perfect conditions but creates them. Someone who does not wait for permission but gives it to themselves. Someone who does not wait for motivation but builds discipline. Be that person. Starting today, starting right now, 31 days. Easy system, clear path, hard work. Not reward you for excuses, but it will reward you for showing up ready to fight every single day. So show up, fight, win, and watch your life change forever. Thank you.